What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to our player ratings here on Anfield Agenda after the Reds have trounced Newcastle by 4-1. A brace from Hugo Ekitike, one from Florian Wirtz, and an emotional fourth from Ibrahim Konate. See the Reds get the job done. I'm going to go through, give the referee, the players, the substitutes, and our head coach all a score out of 10. You'll see two images as always, or two scores, on each image. The one in the upper right-hand corner is the average Anfield Agenda audience score, and the large square in the centre of the image is my score. Now, if you'd like to submit your player ratings and join the Anfield Agenda WhatsApp, where you have a little bit of time left to enter our giveaway to win a signed and framed Steven Gerrard shirt completely free, scan the QR code below or use the link in the description for further details. We will be giving away one signed item every month throughout 2026 with thanks to our friends at the Collector's Corner. Right, folks, and you can also scan that QR code in the bottom corner to get to the WhatsApp. Right, let's get stuck into it. We'll start off with the referee. Shocking, awful, terrible, bottled it. Dan Burn should have been sent off. He should have got a second yellow for that snidey challenge on Cody Gakpo. Then there was the jump-in challenge from Hall that went unnoticed as well. Just all in all, didn't really control that game well enough for me. And I don't really have much faith in Premier League officials at the best of times. And Hooper was awful. So he gets a 4 from me, and he gets a 3.9 from the Anfield Agenda audience. Next up, Mr. Alisson Becker. Big save when he needed it. And again, Newcastle limited it to 2 shots on target, I think, within the entire game. But Alisson played a huge part in Liverpool's second goal, spotting that he had space to take that goal kick quickly. I wonder if we'll ever hear if it was something they worked on in training, because it looked like he spotted it, played it to Kirkes. Kirkes plays it forward to Hugo, and look, the rest is history. So for Ali, another great performance from him, and I'm giving him a score of 7. And the audience have gone with a score for 7.2 for Mr. Alisson Becker. Next up, Milos Kirkes. There's always one player in each game that my mind struggles to really comprehend and remember big moments in it. And today was Milos Kirkes. So based off my recollection, and again, I haven't watched the game back, I think he did well tonight. Nothing too rash, certainly, but that moment that he played the ball in for Hugo Ekitike was a great, well-executed pass. It left Ekitike still had a lot to do, but it was good vision from Milos. So for him tonight, I'm giving him a score of 7, and the audience have gone for a 6.9 for Mr. Milos Kirkes. Next up, our captain, Virgil van Dijk. One thing that struck me tonight was seeing him smile again, which was nice to see. There was a couple of moments that he was smiling running back, and God, I missed those moments. So tonight, he played outstanding, as did the man beside him, who we'll move on to in a second. Yeah, good performance again from Virgil, and long may they continue. So yes, well done to the big man tonight. Even with Dan Burn up there and the height that Newcastle have, they never really gave us much trouble. So the game plan, whatever it was, worked. So for Virgil, it's an 8 from me, and it's a 7.2 from the audience. Next up, look, I've had an up and down relationship with Konate from a performance level this season. Today, he came back into the team and he just played with grace. That's the word I'd use to describe him. Grace. He played like he was focused, like he had a calmness about him, until, of course, the moment where he scored the goal, and then the emotion comes out. And what, again, I noticed was that Virgil made sure that Ibu stepped again in front of the cop to get that, I won't even say plaudits, love in that moment. And, of course, the big man shed a tear, and you'd be made of stone not to feel something there. So for Ibrahim Konate, well done. And thank you for showing the courage to come back in. Thank you for being there to help out your teammates. And I hope that an agreement can be found between the club and Ibu for a contract extension, and we can all focus on getting back to the good days. So for Ibu, a great performance, capped off with a goal in an emotional moment, I'm sure, thinking of his father. An 8.5 from me, and an 8.6 from the Anfield Agenda audience. Next up, Dominic Szoboszlai. This was going to be a difficult evening for Dom. We know the pace that Newcastle have, and they set out to show us that at the start of the game with Gordon, Alanga and Harvey Barnes up top. And I thought that he stuck to his task admirably. There were times where he was outgunned and he had 2 men out there to try and mark. But overall, I think he put in a very good shift. And for a non-right back, again, he doesn't half play the role well. So it's a 7.5 from me for Dom tonight, and it's a 7.6 from the Anfield Agenda viewers. Next up, Mr. Ryan Gravenberch. And again, I thought he was better in midfield tonight. I thought we were better in midfield tonight. And he was just popping up all over the place, wasn't he? In the opposition penalty area, back defending. Just a good, energetic performance. So it's a 7.5 from me for Ryan. And it's a 7.3 from the Anfield Agenda viewers. Alexis McAllister. It was good, but I still feel like he's not back to his levels yet. But again tonight, no lack of effort in there from Alexis McAllister. I do still feel like it isn't himself just yet. I don't know if I'm imagining this or if he's still sort of playing within himself. But I think there's still a little bit more to come. So I'm going to give him a score of 7 tonight. And the audience have gone a bit lower than that with a score for Alexis of 6.5. But do let us know your thoughts on Macca tonight and this season in the comments. Next up, Florian Wirtz. So there's always a lot of people who run in to tell me I was wrong about this, that, or, belittle me about something. But I don't ever get the people to come in to say, well, you stuck up for this guy and were you right? Because Florian Wirtz has always been somebody who I've said, never mind if he has a slow start. The class is there. You could see it week on week, getting better. And now he's just blossomed and flourished into the start of what is going to be a beautiful time from a Liverpool Football Club. A goal and an assist again tonight. And him and Ekitike, that relationship they're striking up just looks absolutely fantastic. So well done to Florian tonight. He gets a score of 8.5 from me. And it's an 8.6. Now the Anfield Agenda Man of the Match vote was a really close one. There was 1% between first and second and 1% between second and third. Ekitike topped the poll. Kanade in second and Wirtz in third. But we all decided they were all so good. We're giving it a treble man of the match. So well done to Florian Wirtz on another good performance. And as you can see, it's an 8.6 from the audience. Now, Cody Gakpo. I thought he was okay. I mean, okay is probably where I'm at. There was some good work down the sideline when he did go around the outside. Some good, intricate, tight space work. The tackle on him from Dan Byrne was snidey as well. And I did like to see that reaction from him getting back up to show his displeasure. So I'm going to give him a score today of 6.5, which is exactly the same as the Anfield Agenda viewers, 6.5. Mohamed Salah. Look, we've got to be honest about what we see, right? And we've praised everybody, and rightly so. But again, tonight, that was a performance that is beneath Mo. We know he's better than that. And there was one good moment there where he laid off a lovely ball to Florian Wirtz, who swatted the ball home, is what I would say, into the corner. But there were 5, 6, 7 moments where his passes were, again, coming off defenders' legs. His crosses were being blocked. It's just not the level we know he's capable of. And none of us take pleasure in saying it, but we have to be honest about what we see. And he hasn't been at it. Now, he does occupy defenders. You often see when he picks up the ball, there's 2, 3 players out there with him. So he is, if nothing else, creating space for others to exploit. But we've got to get the ball to them. There was a breakaway in the first half where he couldn't outpace an ageing and quite slow fullback. He couldn't get the better of. And again, he just ran in the direction that took him away from goal and made the wrong decision to play it across, and should have used his right foot, tried to use his left. When it was Kieran Trippier, he couldn't outmatch. So look, tonight I'm going to be honest again, and I'm not going to back down on what I see. Tonight I'm giving Mohamed Salah a 5.5 because I didn't think he was very good. And the audience seemingly not too far away again with a score of 5.9. Hugo Ekitike, I mean, I love the shithousery, giving us the 3-1 to the fans as he walked past. I love the interview midweek, talking about not making or having any doubts about his decision. He's at the club he wants to be at. But most importantly, he's a pest in a good way. And he occupies defenders and he gives them something to think about. And tonight will be known as the Hugo Ekitike night because that was phenomenal from him. Absolutely brilliant. Turned the game on its head in a couple of short minutes. So Hugo Ekitike, from me, gets a score of 9. And from the audience, it's a 9.1. Hoping carrying that form to the game against City. Curtis Jones came off the bench to return from illness. And look, we still don't know what's going on there with the whole situation with Inter Milan and the future and his contract extension. But he came off, helped us get the job done. Gave us a rest from other players, so it's an average score of 6 there for me and a 6.1 from the audience. I always find it really difficult to grade the substitutes' performances as well when they come on, particularly at stages where the game's pretty much won. Federico Chiesa, again, hopefully the start of him getting some more minutes, and the window closes on Monday at 7 p.m, I think it is, 7 p.m. or 5 p.m. on Monday. Let me just double check that for you now while I have you here. 7 p.m. on Monday, so still time to feel a bit nervous about potential incomings or outgoings. Now, Paul Joyce and others have said that Liverpool will have no senior outgoings before the window closes, but will we get a deal done for the likes of Xhaka for the summer, but agreed now? We'll keep an eye on that. For Fede tonight, giving him a score again of 6 off the bench, and the audience think the same. Wataru Endo, lovely to see him get some more minutes out there on the pitch, and it's good to have to use the closer again, which is what we lovingly refer to Endo as. So I'm going to give him again a score of 6. But we come on to the manager, or the head coach, I should say. This is where I'm unsure about how much of this was individual moments and how much of it was instruction from the manager. But we have to be fair about it. We asked for a response. We got one. We went 1-0 down. They didn't capitulate. They didn't fold. They fed off the atmosphere of Anfield. The manager did too. There were moments himself and Sipka Hulshoff where you were tweaking things. You could see the iPad out and they were adjusting a couple of things. Tonight has to be the start. And tonight has to be the standard that he demands of himself and of everybody else. And if he can do that, and if we can continue to go in this way, who knows what's possible. But a man deserves his credit when he deserves it, and I'll give him his credit along with the team tonight. It's a 7 for me, for Arne Slot, and a 6.9 from the audience. Now look, people are going to say to me again, are you Arne in, Arne out? I am wanting Liverpool to do well. It is as simple as that. If we see a good performance, I'll credit a good performance. If we go through bad patches, I'll talk about that. But Arne still has a little bit to prove for me. But I will give him his dues tonight. We got a result when we needed it. We've scored 10 and conceded 1 in the last 2. But it is 1 league win so far in 2026. And if we can keep this standard going forward, we could be in for a fun end of the season. Manchester City up next week, so let's see how he gets on there. And of course, we hope for a good result. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. I will be back tomorrow at 8:30 for the late night agenda, where we'll know the result of Manchester United's game. If they win, then we are as we were before the weekend, with us in 6th place. But tonight should be the building blocks, and hopefully this is the new norm for the Reds. We'll talk soon. Much love.